There's a table in the back of a forgotten café. It's never reserved, never touched, never cleaned, but every night, at exactly 8:47 p.m., a woman in black sits there, alone like she has for decades. She doesn't order. She doesn't speak. She just waits. Some say she's a ghost. Others swear she's real, but waiting for someone who never came back. And if you look at her for too long, you might remember things that never happened, or someone your heart refuses to forget. Watch this video until the end, because some empty chairs were never meant to stay empty forever. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, may you find the love that still waits for you, even in silence. Drop a comment below. What city are you watching from? And have you ever seen a seat that felt haunted by love? There was a small cafe tucked between a pawn shop and a closed-down cinema. It had no sign, no music, and yet the smell of coffee still hung in the air like memory. People came and went. They talked, laughed, cried, but one table always in the far corner remained untouched. A table for two, always set, never disturbed out, and every evening at 8:47 p.m., she arrived. A woman in a long black coat with velvet gloves and dark red lips. Her hair always tied in a loose knot, like she'd just stepped out of another century. She'd sit down, fold her hands on the table, and stare at the empty seat across from her. She never ordered, never moved. She just waited. Some said she was a ghost. Others whispered she was waiting for one, but no one ever approached. Because when you looked into her eyes, you felt like she already knew everything about you, even the things you forgot. Julian worked at the cafe, just part-time, just until he figured life out. He thought nothing could surprise him anymore, not until the day he made the mistake of asking, "Do you need anything?" He said gently, standing beside her. She looked up, and for a moment, the room didn't exist. Only her eyes, dark as sleep. Still, as regret, she smiled faintly. "No, thank you. He'll be here soon." Julian nodded, but he felt something shift in his chest, like a key turning in a lock he didn't remember placing. That night, he dreamed. The cafe was full of people, dressed in clothes from another era. He saw her again laughing, holding hands with someone he couldn't see. Music played softly from a record player. There was joy, light, warmth, but then shadows. A war, a goodbye never said, and the sound of a chair scraping back, followed by silence. When Julian woke, he couldn't breathe. His pillow was damp with tears. He didn't remember crying. He returned to the cafe early. The table was empty, but fresh, as if someone had just touched the napkin at exactly 8:47 p.m. She came again. He watched from behind the counter. This time, he noticed her fingers trembling slightly as they traced the rim of her cup, though there was never anything in it. And then something impossible happened. She turned and looked at him. Really looked, like she recognized him. He approached again. "Can I ask?" He hesitated. "Who are you waiting for?" She didn't answer. Instead, she reached into her coat pocket and placed a small, faded photograph on the table. Julian picked it up, and froze. It was a picture of her. And a man. His face was blurred, but something about the outline, the jawline, the eyes, felt horribly, painfully familiar. That night, Julian didn't sleep. He searched through old journals, dreams, even school photos. But the answer wasn't in the papers. It was in his heart. A name, a place, a promise. The next evening, Julian didn't wear his apron. He sat down at the empty chair across from her. "I think I was supposed to meet you," he whispered. She didn't cry. She didn't smile. She just reached out her gloved hand resting on his, and the lights in the cafe flickered. softly, like candlelight during prayer. Everything around them blurred. For a moment, it felt like another time, another life, where they had never been separated, where the war hadn't come, where he never left her waiting. And then just like that, she was gone. The seat across from him was empty. The cafe returned to normal. Customers, lights, plates clinking. But the air was different now, lighter, like something long held had been released. Julian still works there. He keeps the table set, never lets anyone sit there, not out of fear, but out of love. Because sometimes when the clock hits 8:47 p.m., he swears he hears footsteps and a voice whispering, "Thank you for remembering. Thank you for watching." Love doesn't always come when it should, but sometimes it waits. To everyone who liked and subscribed, may your heart always return to where it belongs. Comment your city. Have you ever passed the table that felt like someone was still sitting there?